versus Niklas starting right now.
Okay.
Niklas
is playing Youngling and Rikkz is playing Fox.
So, I guess how I would describe this matchup is Youngling has no good hitboxes to deal with Fox spamming his hitboxes in front of his face. You basically might be able to narrow out the shield, but the problem for Youngling is that unlike Fox, where you can get a sizable punish off a knockdown, Youngling has to kind of gamble with his throws, and he doesn't have a good tech chase or really a very reliable up throw combo.
Yeah,
so,
and another problem with his tech chases, he doesn't really get any percent off of it.
Yeah, they don't do much damage. His up air is also like quite vulnerable to getting slide offed, so you have to be pretty careful. That was a nice down smash just to cover Rikkz going to the ledge.
Yeah. Youngling's down smash is actually amazing. It's a very good move. It's fast, since that's a nice angle, it's quite nice.
It's the only real reliable kill option Youngling has. Oh, he gets... I don't know. You can't just do it 3 times, come on. I feel like Niklas could have easily just gone to the ledge and then from ledge,
okay,
but it's
so
fine.
you say that you can't do it 3 times, but it's probably his best option in that scenario.
Yeah, but I don't know, he sort of positioned him in a way that made it so that it was easier to like angle around it, but either way, moving on.
Yeah, I feel like I might be wrong, and maybe it's just because down smash is so laggy. But after one of the first 2 down smashes, can you like do like a falling nair or something? Maybe it doesn't hit enough. I don't know, but I feel like that could be a thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought he would like try and do.
Nice late up air to down air.
Yeah, very good.
So that's actually, I'm pretty confident that's a reliable setup. Like, reliable in the fact that if you actually get the descending down up there.
Yeah, it's not exactly a hitbox which you could just easily get a neutral. Ooh, he managed to get a nice anti-air up air there, but...
Yeah. So I feel like Niklas does that a lot, especially if his the Fox is full jumping. I've actually played so much net play against Niklas, and it's been horrible. But you gotta do it. You gotta put the grind in. But anyway, what I feel like is he's like pressuring his shield with what do you call that, cross ups, and then he's throwing out these up airs to catch your option out of shield.
Yeah, because when you're getting crossed up out of the shield, you either have to like get a pretty hard read on their next landing position with like a wave dash, or you often just full jump, and that is like giving Youngling his only real good combo opener. And now it seems like Niklas has got the pace that he wants. Okay, knocked down for Rikkz, but he misses the tech chase.
This is actually quite a good position for Youngling, because he's ahead and he can get edge guards, and the Fox has to come to him, which is what Youngling wants. Like, he wants to throw out these stuffing hitboxes, and he wants to throw out these projectiles to stop your approaches. So this is looking very good for Youngling.
I think essentially an issue I've seen from Rikkz is that he's not actually had many good openings off his offensive neutral, I guess. He hasn't had many big punishes.
No. It's also the fact that... oh my god! He is so smart! He's just falling, letting the bomb do the job. That was so well timed. Like, the bomb was timed just when he was at the ledge. Oh, Niklas!
That is galaxy brained.
That he's put in the hours. I bet Niklas has like 10,000 hours. He's an expert Youngling player. He has 10,000 hours. That's a 10,000 hour bomb. I tell you that.
Well, it's what you probably have to put in to keep up with Fox. Youngling, we're totally honest. Up air. Oh, I was expecting a tech chase there, but he still managed to got stage. It seems like Rikkz kind of hasn't had a very assertive stage presence. It seems like he's not really like forcing his way in that well.
What I feel like is that probably Rikkz is not used to dealing with the, what do you call it, the danger zones, or like the oppressive zones that Youngling has, because Youngling's projectiles are quite different from like the standard Peach turnips or Falco lasers. Like they threaten different areas of the map, and it feels like Rikkz is just keep running into them, and it's stopping Rikkz's momentum, so he doesn't really get the chance to move. Like he's staying in shine, trying to reflect them. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, especially against Youngling, because Youngling, unlike a lot of those other characters, his bombs, he can throw them in multiple directions, obviously, like Peach, but he's fast and can go around the platforms and reposition much better. You can't really rely on just being in one position to deal with his projectiles.
Yeah.
I think he really needs to just get in his face and hit him. Which kind of makes it sound easy, but it is kind of what the game plan is.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like Falco. Like you can't reflect the Falco projectiles because, okay, you reflect the Falco projectile, he eats the projectile, and then he just down airs you. It's kind of the same with Youngling, except it's not a down air, it's like an air, and he doesn't really get the. Ooh,
yeah,
funny.
One of those. You got a good combo to start off, but Niklas gets out, and it seems like Niklas is getting back into a good stage position pretty easily. Kind of a committal approach from Rikkz. He should be dead. Yeah.
And it's Rikkz actually allowing Niklas to get into like that comfortable stage position, because Fox has the options to stuff Youngling, to not let him draw his bombs, but Rikkz is letting him draw the bombs and giving him space, and he shouldn't be doing that.
I think the lasers are maybe fine when you're up several stocks and you're on a bigger stage, but Youngling is not that bad at approaching, and certainly not on Yoshi's.
And they're also fine if you're not getting caught doing them, but he is, so
yeah,
I don't know.
I think he needs to really just try and hold sensible, because it seems like he's willingly letting himself go to the side platforms, and then that kind of gives Niklas so many different sort of areas to set up his projectile offense in a way, and
definitely. So it feels to me that it's Rikkz not knowing what to do, like not knowing where the projectiles threaten, not knowing which direction the bomb sends you, which is confusing because the bombs send you like up, and it's so like, oh, what is happening, and you get your back turned, and what's going on. But I don't think the correct way is just like staying back, because I don't know.
It's like playing against Peach. If you stay too far back, she can pull turnips, and then her approach options become vastly better.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be messing around with that. But he's holding center now, doesn't get the edge guards, he sort of like jumps, I think, a little too early. Oh, tech chase, up air.
Niklas has been very good at getting out of these up airs. It's partly Youngling being quite floaty, but also him being quite small, so that helps Youngling. But Niklas is also probably very good at the smash DI. I've seen him done a bunch of them already.
Yeah,
that was good edge guard. Very good edge guard.
It seemed like that last stock, firstly he went to top platform instead of side platform in order to sort of set up his platform camping to make Niklas sort of act first, which is better, to be honest. Just because Youngling's approaches to top plat are not as good, and it sort of presents fewer options for like dealing with the position, and also it means that he could just sort of drop down to center, which is a much better position than just the side plats.
Beautiful start from Rikkz. Beautiful. Like not giving Youngling the space, getting him to the top platform, not letting him draw bombs, keep shocking him with up airs. Just that's how you're gonna play the matchup. Don't let him draw the bombs. Just attack him. Intercept him.
Yeah. Okay, chasing him down the top platform, holding center, but he just retreats a bit too much, maybe. So far, it's not actually getting hit by any of these projectiles. Good punish.
I think it's partly Dreamland just giving him more space to move, but it's just also, I think it's him catching on to like the projectile the trajectory of the projectiles. Like, okay, I shouldn't be here because you can boomerang me, and I shouldn't be here because you can bomb me. So I'm just gonna move in these spaces instead. And I think that's helping Rikkz. And like, compared to game 1, Rikkz is moving so fast, he's moving smoothly, he's not getting stuffed out by random stuff, like at least not as much, so it's just... I really think this is just a case of the Fox player learning the matchup.
Yeah. He's been much more aggressive as well, which...
Very. And look what it gets him. He's 2 stocks up, like 2 full stocks.
He's also punishing better. I think game 1, his neutral openings netted him not very much, whereas first stock he got basically a 0 to death. And since then he's been getting pretty sizable openings, like 40% off of the good grab. And that is, you know, that's about as good as it gets against Youngling.
I think actually the biggest factor, or one of the biggest factor, is the first 2 games, or at least the first game, when he was getting a combo and he couldn't like quite combo further, he moved back and shot lasers, letting Youngling pull projectiles, giving Youngling space. But now he doesn't necessarily try to follow up in combo, but he keeps the pressure on. Stays on Youngling, not letting him drop projectiles and getting openings.
That was really good. That last mix-up he just did with the sort of drill and then drill further into the corner immediately after, because he forced Niklas there.
Yeah.
Very good. I like this. Just staying right in his face. I think if he wants to do like one extra step, which might make this like even better for him, I think run-up shield is actually really broken against Youngling.
Oh yeah, definitely. What are you gonna do as Youngling?
Yeah, it's like Youngling's grab is so committal that if you can really kind of abuse shield and make it something which he has to like think about using, you can make him potentially, you know, open himself up with so much lag for you to get a good punish.
So first of all, very committal. It is slower than the most grabs, and you don't really get that much off of it. Like, you get a like pseudo tech chase, which doesn't really lead to any big openings. So high commitment, low reward to grab as Youngling, which is not what you want.
Yeah.
Niklas is going back to Dreamland, and it's probably the best stage in this matchup for Niklas, but I'm not necessarily sure it's the best stage against Rikkz, because Rikkz is really making good use of all the space.
Yeah, he's managed to sort of use the space in order to get around the projectiles whilst sort of playing this pretty aggressive, like, getting stuck right in front of Youngling's face. And like, you, as Youngling, I think Yoshi's might have been the better stage. Game 1 was Battlefield, am I not mistaken?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so I think Fountain might have been a better like stage pick potentially, just based on how Rikk's strengths have basically been around moving in, using like a lot of space in the top platform.
If I'm completely honest, I don't think I'm confident enough to question Niklas's counter pick choices as a Youngling.
Yeah, that is a fair point. His brain is much bigger than mine, so he must have a plan in mind with this.
But it feels like the Fox is outmaneuvering the Yank on this stage.
Okay.
It is a better start than the last game. I'll give him that.
Ooh, that was just a really good pressure sequence from Rikkz. Just doing not super committal, like costly options, and then catching the roll immediately after. He's kind of gone back to that side platform.
Yeah. He's giving him so much space, and Niklas is getting these projectiles off. It hasn't really gotten a big opening, but
yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't necessarily criticize it that much, because he took 43% from sort of a fresh stock and then killed him, which really is fine, you know.
And that is a fair point. Like, okay, yeah, you're giving the young Link space and you're taking projectile damage, but the way he did it was that he wasn't ever in a position where he was like in any danger of losing the stock, so it might have been fine.
Yeah, and he's at low percent. It's not like it when you're at high percent where if you get clipped by a bomb, you literally
like that
might die. Yeah.
Getting hit by a random boomerang, missing your attack, down smash.
Yeah, I think doing the sort of camping at this low percent is fine. It's kind of not that unsafe. Just being at a range where you might get hit by a projectile, that you're at low percent and you won't get a big follow-up. But ooh, good back air.
Nevertheless, it feels like Niklas is finding more openings and he's finding more space. And I don't know if it's Rikkz going back to the game plan he did in the first two games, or it's Niklas like doing these slight adjustments. It might be because there's a lot of nuance to how you can use the boomerang and how you can use the bombs.
Yeah,
and I'm not a skilled enough young Link spectator to point out all that nuance, but something is happening, and Rikkz is still winning, but it seems better for Niklas.
Yeah, compared to the last game where it was kind of a bit of a blowout, it's been not insanely one-sided. It does seem like often Rikkz is managing to replicate the same sort of good situations where he's just on top of young Link's shield and then he can just follow the roll without much fear, and that's going to be it. There's literally no option. I think also Rikkz's punishes, especially his edge guarding, got way better across the whole set, especially that last game. There were situations...
Didn't he get a few shine spikes the first games?